Maybe you've noticed it too. You're with your partner, or even just alone in your thoughts, and things aren't happening like they used to. The erection takes longer to show up. It's not as firm. Sometimes it fades before you're even ready. You don't bring it up, you don't joke about it, you just carry it quietly, wondering if this is what getting older really means. And in the back of your mind, there's a question you can't shake. Is this the beginning of the end for me? I get it. I've been there. And I can tell you, the story isn't over, not even close. Because in most cases, this isn't about losing your manhood. It's about something simple, physical, and fixable. And today, we're going to talk about two specific exercises that can open the very veins inside your penis and help you reclaim what age has been trying to take. You're not broken. What you're going through isn't a personal failure. It's part of the way a man's body changes over time. Blood vessels lose some of their flexibility. Circulation slows down. Erections don't appear as quickly or stay as firm as they used to. But here's the truth most men never hear. There's a difference between normal aging and giving up. We've all seen guys who seem to shrink into themselves as the years go on, not just physically but in spirit. They stop trying. They stop believing their body can still respond. And the worst part? That loss of hope becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yet there are plenty of men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s who still enjoy deep intimacy, not because they're lucky, but because they've learned how to keep blood flowing where it matters. When you take the right steps to maintain circulation, you're not just helping your erections, you're keeping your confidence, your connection with your partner, and that spark that makes you feel fully alive as a man. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, starting with two simple exercises that can make a real difference. When it comes to erections, it's not about magic. It's about blood. Every single time you get an erection, it's because blood has rushed into two spongy chambers inside your penis, the corpora cavernosa, and stayed there long enough for you to enjoy it. Those chambers aren't filled by chance. They're fed by arteries and held in place by tiny valves and muscles that work together like a well-timed machine. But over time, that machine changes. The arteries that feed your penis can start to narrow. The veins that should trap blood can lose their grip. The pelvic floor muscles that help push blood in and hold it there can weaken. Even the nerve signals from your brain can slow down, meaning by the time your body tries to respond, the moment's already slipping away. And here's the part most men don't realize. This isn't just about age. These changes are heavily influenced by lifestyle, circulation, and muscle tone. The same way your arms get weaker if you never lift anything, your sexual function gets weaker if you don't keep the system active. That's the frustrating cycle. Once erections start to fade, you use them less. And when you use them less, the system gets even less stimulation, which makes things worse. It's not about desire. You might want intimacy more than ever. It's about the physical ability to deliver. The good news is, blood flow is trainable. Just like you can improve the way your legs move by walking every day, you can improve the way blood moves into your penis by targeting the muscles and pathways that control it. We're not talking about endless hours in the gym or awkward devices. We're talking about simple, precise exercises that keep those pelvic floor muscles strong, the arteries open, and the veins responsive. Think of it like keeping the pipes clean and the pump strong, because that's exactly what your erection system is. When you understand that this is a physical system, not just a random failure, it changes the whole story. You're not at the mercy of age. You're in a position to take back control, one small, consistent step at a time. And that's exactly where we're heading next. When blood flow to your penis starts to fade, it's easy to think the only thing at stake is your sex life. But the truth is, it goes much deeper than that. It can change the way you see yourself. For many men, erections aren't just about physical pleasure. They're tied to identity, confidence, and the quiet pride of still feeling strong in your own skin. When that part of you starts to slip, even if no one else notices, you notice. And it can quietly eat away at your self-esteem. Intimacy, which should be a place of connection and closeness, can start to feel like a test you might fail. Instead of looking forward to it, you feel pressure, worry. A voice in the back of your head saying, "What if it doesn't work this time?" That kind of stress can make the problem even worse. And the effects don't stop in the bedroom. Poor circulation can mess with your energy levels during the day. It can impact your mood, make you more irritable, and even interfere with sleep. Your body isn't separate compartments. When blood flow suffers in one area, other systems feel it too. Most men don't realize there's also a link to prostate health and urinary control. Healthy blood flow keeps the tissues and muscles in that region strong and responsive. When circulation is weak, the pelvic floor can lose tone, the bladder can become harder to control, and the prostate doesn't get the oxygen and nutrients it needs. Over time, that can mean more frequent bathroom trips, weaker flow, or discomfort you can't quite explain. The thing is, these problems often creep up slowly. You adapt without realizing it, avoiding intimacy, ignoring small changes, convincing yourself it's just getting older. Until one day, you look back and realize how much you've given up. But here's the hopeful part. Improve your blood flow, and many of these issues begin to shift. Your energy feels steadier, your mood lifts, you sleep better. Your confidence comes back not just because you can perform sexually, but because you feel more alive in every part of your day. And that's why we don't just treat poor erections as a private problem, it's a whole body, whole life issue. And when you fix it, you start getting yourself back. When things start slipping in the bedroom, most men take one of two paths. The first, they reach for pills. Maybe it's something a buddy mentioned, something they saw online, or a prescription from the doctor. And sure, sometimes they work in the short term. But here's the hard truth. Pills don't fix the underlying problem. They're like jumper cables on a dying battery. You might get a spark tonight, but the system is still wearing down underneath. The second path is avoidance. Some men quietly give up. They convince themselves it's just age and stop trying altogether. That might feel easier in the moment, but over time, it chips away at confidence, connection, and physical health. Then there's the exercise trap. A lot of guys here strengthen the body and start doing the wrong things. Heavy weight training that bulks up the wrong muscles, crunches or sit-ups that strain the back, even certain male enhancement routines online that promise the world but risk injury. And here's one most men never expect: overdoing cardio. We've been told for decades that more cardio is always better. But if you're running yourself into the ground every day, you can actually lower testosterone, drain your energy, and weaken the very drive you're trying to get back. The real mistake behind all of these? They're not targeted. They don't focus on the specific muscles, tissues, and blood vessels that control erections. They either mask the symptoms or train parts of the body that have nothing to do with your problem. The right approach is different. It's sustainable. It works with your body, not against it. It keeps your back safe, your hormones balanced, and your focus exactly where it needs to be, on improving circulation and strength in the pelvic region. When you stop chasing quick fixes and start building a foundation, something changes. You're no longer hoping for good days or fearing the bad ones. You're putting yourself in control, slowly, steadily, and permanently. And that's why the two exercises we're about to cover aren't flashy. They're not trendy, but they are proven to open up blood flow, strengthen the right muscles, and help you rebuild the system from the inside out. If you've been dealing with weaker erections, you've probably been told there's nothing you can do except take a pill. Or worse, that it's just age and you should accept it. But the truth is, your body is still capable of change, even in your 60s, 70s, or beyond. And the key isn't more medication, it's better circulation. There are two simple exercises that directly target the muscles, veins, and pathways that control blood flow into your penis. They don't require a gym, you don't need any equipment, and you can do them in the privacy of your own home. The first is a pelvic floor contraction, sometimes called a Kegel for men. This isn't about squeezing your stomach or butt, it's about isolating the muscle you'd use to stop urine midstream. When you contract and release that muscle, you're strengthening the very system that pushes blood into the penis and keeps it there. The stronger it gets, the more control you have. The second is a deep squatting hold, not for building leg muscle, but for opening the hips, stretching the pelvic region, and improving blood flow through the arteries that feed the groin. By holding a deep squat, even for just 20 to 30 seconds at a time, you create more space for blood to move freely. Over time, that extra circulation feeds directly into better erectile function. Here's the thing. These aren't magic tricks. You won't do them twice and wake up feeling 20 again. That's not how the body works, especially after years of slow decline. What these exercises do is build a foundation. They strengthen the pump, clear the pathways, and train your body to send blood where you need it, when you need it. The real power comes from consistency. A few minutes a day, most days of the week, is enough to start creating change within weeks. And when you feel that first difference, a stronger morning erection, a fuller response during intimacy, it's a quiet reminder that you're not finished yet. You're rebuilding, you're reclaiming. And it's all starting with two small, deliberate actions that any man can do, but few actually will. The choice is yours. When you first start working on improving blood flow and pelvic strength, I'll be honest, it might not feel like much. In fact, the first week or two can feel a little awkward. You might catch yourself thinking, is this really doing anything? That's normal. What's happening in those early days is subtle. You're waking up muscles that haven't been asked to do their job in years. You're encouraging tiny blood vessels to open more often, and you're retraining the connection between your brain and the muscles that control blood flow. The first signs can be easy to miss if you're not looking for them. A warmer sensation in your groin, a slight heaviness or fullness that lingers during the day, or maybe a random half erection when you're not even thinking about sex. For some men, the first clear change is simply waking up with more frequent morning erections, something you might not have felt in years. But here's the key, no? This is not a quick fix. This is training. Just like you wouldn't expect to run a marathon after a week of jogging, you can't expect rock-solid erections after a handful of sessions. It usually takes about 3 to 6 weeks of steady, consistent practice to see real, noticeable changes. And those changes don't just show up in the bedroom. You might feel a little more energy during the day. You might notice a quiet shift in how you carry yourself, because deep down, you know your body is starting to respond again. The confidence comes back slowly, but it's real. You stop overthinking intimacy. You stop bracing for disappointment. Instead, you find yourself actually looking forward to those moments because you trust your body to meet you halfway. And that's one of the most powerful parts of this process. It's not just about stronger erections. It's about rebuilding trust with your own body. That trust changes how you think, how you feel, and how you connect with the people who matter most to you. So don't get discouraged by the slow start. Small changes now are signs of much bigger shifts ahead if you just keep going. You're lying beside your partner, maybe in the quiet of the evening. There's no knot of anxiety in your stomach, no second guessing, no silent hope that your body will cooperate. You just know. You know that when the moment comes, your body will respond, naturally, fully, without hesitation. Not because of a pill you took an hour ago, not because you got lucky this time, but because the system inside you is working the way it's meant to. That changes everything. It's not just about sex. It's the way you carry yourself during the day. You feel lighter, more sure-footed. That low hum of frustration or self-doubt that used to follow you around, it's gone. You catch yourself smiling more, standing taller, saying yes to things you used to turn down. Your mood shifts too. Instead of feeling like you're slipping into the background, you feel present again, in your own life, in your own skin. And that quiet confidence doesn't go unnoticed. Your partner feels it. People around you feel it. Intimacy stops feeling like a test and starts feeling like what it's supposed to be. Connection, closeness, joy. You're no longer distracted by whether your body will show up for you. It just does. And maybe the biggest change is the one inside your own head. You realize you haven't just fixed erections. You've reclaimed a part of yourself you thought might be gone for good. The part that says, I'm still here. I'm still capable. I'm still me. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about chasing youth. It's about owning the man you are right now, strong, present, and alive in every sense of the word. And that's the version of you worth fighting for. In the end, this isn't about chasing who you used to be. It's about standing where you are right now, looking in the mirror, and knowing you still have more to give, that your body can still answer when life or love calls. Strong erections aren't a gift some men are lucky enough to keep. They're built, maintained, protected. And for most of us, they're only a few minutes of the right work away. Two simple exercises. A habit you can weave into your day without fanfare. And over time, a quiet return of something you thought you might have lost. You don't need to feel 20 again. You just need to feel like yourself. The man who doesn't hesitate, doesn't flinch, doesn't wonder if the moment will pass him by. The truth is, no one's going to do this for you. And maybe that's the beauty of it. Because when you take this on yourself, when you show up for your own body, the wins belong entirely to you. So start, not next week, not when things calm down, today. Give yourself the chance to say yes when it matters most and mean it.